Coming up to the end of the year here, I thought I would take the time to do a video that kind of gives you a little bit more of a breakdown of me and the channel and where it started and why it even exists. So maybe we can put some of these silly conspiracy theories to rest. First of all, I am not a Clinton Podesta operative. I've never been a Democrat. In 1992, to honor my dying grandmother, I voted for Bill Clinton because she was an old Southern Democrat and she had asked us all to go do that. So um, it was something that I did just to honor her. And at 22 years old, I didn't really think too much about politics. I just went and did something to honor her because she had been such a wonderful person in our lives. But that's been the extent to which I've ever been involved in the Democratic Party. Um, and as far as Republican or conservative, I've been conservative to the extent that it um, allows me to live my life in a way that agrees with the moral foundation that I was brought up with in the Pentecostal church in Indiana during the 70s and early 80s. Left for the Army in 89. Spent a lot of the 90s writing music and trying to be a songwriter. And then through 2000s, I was a truck driver and through a lot of different avenues. I ended up down here in Florida and just was seeing something happen during this last election cycle that I figured was too big to not make a video about. And it just goes to ninth grade civics, folks. It doesn't take a giant intellect to figure out that when somebody comes into a party like Donald Trump did and pretty much make enemies of all of its leaders and a good chunk of the senators and reps in the House and governors across the state, to make the leap that the Electoral College would reflect that disdain for him wasn't a giant visionary move. When I had made my video and my channel, it was a very small channel. It only had 2 subscribers. It was just full of me sitting on my couch playing guitar. I've never been a big political guy, but I did have an understanding of how the Electoral College worked, and it wouldn't have applied in every other year. The only reason it applied this year is because of the incredible disqualification of both candidates, Clinton and Trump. And the idea that libertarians or Greens were just completely not even in the realm of being considered is just a factor of media programming, and it has been for years. I've always thought it was an incredibly unfair thing that they did to these people. So anyway, I've been accused of being fake news and being somehow able to magically dominate YouTube. And to be truthful, that my prediction back on the 1st of November came true. I'll say it was luck. It was dumb luck. I mean, and I could have, if you go back and look at the video that I made on the 1st of November, I was alleging it could have gone either way. Because then we saw that play itself out. We did. That if Clinton had won, she had electors that weren't going to vote for her. Same thing with Trump. So, this wasn't some giant conspiracy theory, but that's kind of what dominates YouTube and what gets ratings here, so that's what people love to jump on. So the reason you're looking at my video manager page, I just wanted to show you a few things that have happened since Christmas that I found curious. Now, like I have alleged before, I have real day jobs. I have a day job and I have a night job, and this has been great to have some extra money coming up. I haven't seen a dime from it, won't see a dime from it until late January. But I just wanted to show you something about the videos that I thought was kind of curious. Back during and prior to the Electoral College, most of the videos would get, by the end of a day, it would have about 1,000 videos, and over a week, it would get up into the 3, 4, 5, maybe 6,000 range. Well, then something curious happened after Christmas. And not even after the 19th, because that's where I made the little 2-minute fight continues video. I thought I would see if I could try my hand at the video editing stuff, and I didn't expect that to do very well, but it continued 1,100, and then all of a sudden the video numbers just dived, and especially this last one. And I haven't changed my format. I put the big clickbaity headlines for the alt-right supporters because that's what they look at, and I use the pictures that have big bright colors and shiny things that attract people of lesser intelligence. But actually in the video, it is actual, intelligent, thoughtful content, and I have tried to maintain that standard all the way through. So, and all of the tags and titles and everything all say the same, but we saw a giant nosedive in viewership. And when I actually go to my own homepage now to look at my own videos, my own recent videos don't even show up anymore. I can search my name, and I can search, Faithless Electors. I can search all that, and none of my newest videos since Christmas will even show up in my own searches. I have to go to my own page to click on them. So it's an interesting thing. Somebody had mentioned that maybe I had some strikes, but I went to my thing here, and I don't have any strikes anywhere. So who knows what's going on? Not gonna lose any sleep over it, but um, I wanted to cover some things that, with all this continual accusation of fake news, that somehow the guitar player guy from northern Florida is the beginning and ending of fake news and has somehow driven the election cycle is just, to me, hilarious. I mean, the guy who takes his phone and points it at his laptop screen, that's the one. That's the guy who's, the big threat out there. So anyway, I just wanted to cover a few things, some things that are out there that really are fake news and have been fake news that nobody is talking about. Who remembers this? Who remembers the big four blood moons prophecy from them? Nobody ever hears anything about that anymore. I wonder if John Hagee's going to be fake news now because he was wrong about that, and the countless other predictions made from countless other preachers about the rapture and Jesus coming back and the end of the world and all that nonsense. This was one of my favorites. Reptilian shapeshifters in the Obama administration. And you can see all of this, and you can see even some of the girls on Fox News have been accused of being reptilian shapeshifters because of camera glitches. I think is just hilarious. And then, if you really want to talk about the faithless elector thing, you could Google this or YouTube it or whatever on, InfoWars. This guy here came out on InfoWars, and it's 15 December, and said pretty much exactly the same thing, word for word, that I had said in my videos. And, this is anybody going to turn off InfoWars and turn off Alex Jones because he had videos that said basically the same thing. Sorry, I got a dog shaking his head in the background there, but anyway, so yeah, it's just ninth grade civics, the role of the Electoral College, why it could have been a factor. And honest to God, when I made my first video, I didn't know what I was doing. I just found a picture that kind of agreed with what I was talking about, whipped my phone out and started recording, made a 7.5 minute video and uploaded it. And that was pretty much it, And honestly, I didn't even monetize that video until it reached 1,000 hits. I'm like, I thought it was insane that it actually had gotten that many hits. I didn't even think about monetizing stuff. It just was, I never did YouTube to make money. I still don't do it to make money. And, I had thought, going through the process that, what would be a good idea is if I would take the money that I did earn from YouTube and maybe send it to one of these electors to cover whatever fines that they were going to incur. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So, who knows? But I have you people to thank for it. The folks that have come here and supported me and helped and tried to maintain a civil conversation and educate. So, to those who are my enemies out there, I got invited into a debate with another YouTuber, and, you just can't debate people. I didn't come here to change anybody's minds. The people that are for Donald Trump are going to be for him. There's nothing I'm going to say or anybody else is going to say that is going to change their minds. He's going to dig his own grave, and they will come to the realization on their own, not because of some YouTube channel. So, believe what you want. God bless you for it. I may not agree with you for it, but it's America, and we're allowed to do that. So, Trump supporter, go right ahead. Believe what you want. This channel was never dedicated to changing your mind. It was dedicated to maybe enlightening you to some things that maybe you didn't know about him before. I'm walking kind of a fine line in one of the videos where I had, I want to be careful what I say here because I had a security clearance at the time, but there's a lot more to Operation Just Cause than was widely reported back in the late 80s and early 90s. And why it is relevant here, I'm just going to have to let people make that leap on their own, but I want people to think about what was going on in Manhattan during the 80s. What was the big drug of choice during America in the 80s? and think about the man who is currently going to be president, and that's all I can really say. So anyway, Happy New Year. I'm going to do a video here coming up to the new year that's going to maybe make some more predictions. I see how wonderful that works out for me. About what I believe might be coming in the next administration. So anyway, thanks, God bless, and good luck, and I'll see you next time.